lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 373. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the only does everything, Colin Moriarty.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are
No
you?
go Islanders, huh? You're finally giving up on the Islanders.
No, of course
You've
not.
turned your back.
You're landlocked, man.
On what you-
No, I know.
Yeah.
There's no ocean.
Middle of the country,
Yeah.
Iowa. That's what you rep now.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's Iowa's hockey team?
The Des Moinesians.
Corns?
I'm sure they have an AHL
The
team.
Corns.
ECHL team.
Yeah. The Corns.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah. The Brian Alberts.
The Brian Alberts, that's right. Over here, in the never-rotating third chair, our permanent member, for
Yeah.
real,
No
Marty
jokes.
Sleva.
Hey, it's
best
good to
beer
be
in
here.
the business.
Also,
Hey,
373, a real palindrome.
that's true.
Yeah. Palindrome is also a palindrome.
Numeric palindrome.
Yeah. Boom.
You don't see enough of those, I feel like.
No.
I like when the date does it. You flip the dates around.
We just had the last sequential date.
For our
We
lifetime.
had 1, 2. Wait, what was it? No, it was 12, 13, 14.
Wait, what?
It was yeah,
What was
on
it?
December 13th. It was 12, 13, 14.
Does you ever think about this stuff and then make it sad you'll never see it again?
I mean,
you'll be
I'll see it again.
unless I have the fountain of youth.
Yeah. Well, neither you do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we do have, though. It's the Christmas season, the holiday season.
Was it really
the
necessary to
Kwanzaa
do that with
season,
the paper?
The Hanukkah
Yeah.
season. Yeah, I don't-
Hanukkah.
Can I make people happy, Colin? Can I
I know,
make,
but you have a little paper and you go, and you
it's a good way to show people
Okay.
I have paper.
If Hanukkah was in October, would we call it Hanukkah?
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
Colin made him think.
We got a gift here from Dan D. Ducey Jr.
Not a real name.
He says Beyond.
Beyond.
Then he says from X-Mouse.
What?
I don't know. I think one's his real name. When you order something from Amazon, they have to give a real name.
Gotcha.
You can't say I'm X-Mouse. Dan, of course, was nice enough to send
Oh.
the official dog food of Podcast Beyond, Purina Beyond. Now I've gotten a lot of tweets about Purina Beyond as it's come.
Have you really?
Oh yeah. Here's Portillo's official dog food. You're gonna sue these guys. Blah 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 blah. I'm happy to finally have some. I will do a taste test for you, Dan. Not me. The dog will eat it.
You should, like...
I should eat some of it too.
Yeah.
That's really great.
No, if
I've
Portillo's like the king, you have to be the taster to make sure it's not
I've
poison.
eaten the dog treats that are like good enough, like human grade, but like
I ate
dog
the
food.
bone.
I can't do
This
that.
doesn't really sound bad when you think about chicken, brewer's rice. I don't know what that is.
It's
Whole
like
barley, canola meal, chicken meal, beef fat preserved with mixed tocopherols,
I would listen to an entire podcast of you just reading ingredients.
natural liver flavor,
All right.
dried egg product, salt, potassium chloride, dried carrots.
Ooh.
That's way down there.
So I'm not-
He needs the carrots.
I'm a little
'cause you
worried
can't see
about the image on the
Sorry, I
front because it
digress.
looks like the chicken is being impaled by a very sharp carrot.
Or no, I'm sorry. He's, that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
I was trying to make the link. Has anyone even seen a chicken before?
Purina, you have some nerve putting a carrot prominently on your packaging when it is maybe the 14th, the 12th, something like that item on your
Everybody
ingredients
tweet
list.
Purina. Let them know
Yeah.
we're taking them to task. Nobody's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Podcast Beyond, IGN's PlayStation podcast, the #1 PlayStation podcast on the internet because you're super supportive. You can get the MP3 each and every Tuesday on IGN.com and podcast services around the world. Then every Wednesday, I upload the video to IGN.com, to YouTube.com/IGN, and of course, to the absolutely free IGN PlayStation 4 app.
I like that app.
It's a really nice
I'm a fan
app.
of that app.
I'm a big fan too.
Even if I didn't work here.
When are they adding the rewind and fast forward buttons? I don't know.
They got to do that.
You can stop asking me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Mark 1. Mark Ryan's working on Mark 2, I'm sure. I think that's what he does over there. God only knows. Mark Ryan.
You ever heard that song? The Beach Boys.
Oh, God only knows?
Yeah.
That's a jam.
Yeah, I
Colin,
like the
sing me
Beach
some.
Boys.
No, I can't do it. I'm
You
sorry.
can sing it.
I can sing it.
Yeah. Go.
I'm just more interested in this packaging. Let me tell you more.
You going to open up and eat it?
They go into just what's in the food,
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. What's in chicken meat?
and it says it's just so weird. Like chicken meal made from chicken cooked at high temperatures to remove water and fat, leaving a source of high quality protein. 4 times more protein than chicken commonly used.
Why
in pet
don't
food?
we use that kind
Here's
of
the
chicken?
thing. The Futurama made fun of it by having bachelor chow.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a complete meal in a bag for humans, I'd eat it.
Yeah.
I'd totally be down for that.
I
Not
would.
every meal, but have it at the desk. I take a cup out. I dump
Really?
it into a
See,
cup.
one of the few things I take. I always make Charlotte laugh about this because she's
Yeah.
like, my dad says that too. It's depressing. Is that I'm
Does
like
she
one of
talk
the
like a robot
only
like that?
one of the only things that I take great pleasure in my life is eating.
Yeah.
And if I had to eat like I was on a spaceship or something
Yeah.
like that, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not
be able to
saying
tolerate.
every meal. I'm saying a lunchtime. You're
Yeah.
you're late for work.
I'm
You
never
got this?
busy. I'm never too busy to eat. I guess is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, you really took that scone to task today.
Oh man, that set the internet ablaze. You broke the internet.
You don't know what you're dealing with.
Colin's been taking pop shots at me left and right. It's about time I swung back.
Yeah.
What? Because
I'm Greg Miller and I am the president. American president. Everybody watch it.
It's about you, I heard.
It's loosely based on the Team
Is that
Pat
the movie?
storyline.
Is that the movie? I don't know why I have this memory in my head, and I don't know what movie it's from. Where in the beginning, an assassin is screwing a wooden gun together.
No. That's Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah.
Clint
Oh, okay.
Eastwood, John Malkovich.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember that.
I
scene
used to
so
watch
well.
movies.
That was an interesting scene. They were at like some state dinner or something.
Yeah. It's a good movie. You should watch it again.
Just in terms of Team Fat, I don't eat in the morning, so
Yeah.
it's very unusual for me. I'm not hungry until
Yeah.
like 12 or 1.
Same here. I have coffee and that's it.
Yeah, like I can't eat. So I got the scone, and I just wasn't into it.
Yeah. How about
Now
that
we'll see you
bacon,
later
son?
when we
That
have dinner.
bacon,
We'll see you
son.
later when we. Let's see who's eating dinner tonight.
Are we
Let's
going
see-
In-N-Out tonight?
We can go to In-N-Out. We can go. We're going to be down there by Buffalo Wild Wings as well.
Whoa, BW3s.
That's true. We are going to be down there.
I can call you South Bay boys.
South Bay boys, what are you doing?
What happened? The Settle's back!
Before we begin the show with What Isn't Forever will be the Roper Report, I need to point out that last week was the Frank Furlano episode.
Yeah.
Podcast Beyond episode 372. Your support, ladies and gentlemen, was insane. Whether I thought I wasn't thinking clearly, Colin, because the tweets came in, had a bunch of tweets. I'm like, that's really cool. And then Frank started retweeting people that were tweeting at him, and I forgot how many people were just directly tweeting at Frank and not even talking to us. Then I went into the mailbag to get the mail for this week, and the mailbag's chock full of people with thanking us for doing it, which you don't have to do.
Yeah.
So many people were like, thank you guys for going up there and visiting Frank and putting him on the show. Thank you for listening and watching and supporting us and giving us an avenue where anybody would care what we have to
Yeah.
say and want to fly us to Toronto to meet
Yeah.
them and want to hang out. Thank you to Frank for being amazing on the show. Everyone said that universally,
Yep.
that he came in, he's like, oh, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's better than a lot of the developers you've had on. It's like, yes, he landed on his feet. He knew what he was doing.
Nah,
he
he
was
was great.
amazing. The show was awesome.
He was great.
Thank you all for your support. Thank you for tweeting at Frank. Thank you. There's so many developers since then. Telltale, PlayStation. So many people have come to send Frank stuff now. Konami, they've all taken care of him after the fact. Thank you to all those people. Thanks to everybody who's added him on PSN. Thanks to everybody who's tweeted with him now, who's now following on Twitter. He's totally blown away. We're an awesome community. We're happy to have everybody part
Yeah.
of it. I wanted to point out, too, it was interesting. Podcast Beyond, number one PlayStation podcast on the internet. IGN's number
I've
one
heard of it.
audio podcast.
I've heard of it.
Fascinating that we did 40,000 more downloads last Tuesday than we normally do.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
already are doing amazing. We just added all that on top.
That's
of it.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
thanks for spreading the word.
Yeah, I was really happy about that. And a lot of people, scores of people, tweeted at me saying, thank you so much for doing that with all of us, whatever. And I wasn't responding to these tweets specifically because I wasn't doing it for my own accolades. So I'm happy to have, you know what I mean? Like, I'm happy to have done it, and I'm so appreciative that people are appreciative of it. But it's really all about Frank. So send your love to him.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you guys are sending me love too.
Unicornus.
And Greg, yeah, but it's Unicronus.
Unicronus, I know.
Unicornus.
he
yeah,
gets
I-
really
I-
mad when I say that.
it was
I'm
hard
like,
for
I
me-
don't care, Frank.
I started like thinking about answering something. I'm like, well, it's always my pleasure, but it's not about me. It's about Frank. So
Sure.
so let's give him some love and continue to give us some love on Twitter.
That was awesome.
Let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news.
There are
Ba-da-na-na-na.
I love that record. Not surprisingly, there are 12 items on the list.
A baker's dozen.
No, that's a real dozen. It's an actual dozen.
Baker's dozen.
Okay.
Candlestick makers does.
Number 1. PlayStation 4 is no longer the best-selling console in the United States, at least not for the month of November 2014. In November, a heavily discounted Xbox One outsold PlayStation 4, undoing Sony's roughly year-long streak of having the best-selling console in the country. It was also... Oh, okay. It was. I'm just so used to having
like,
something
I can't read this anymore.
It was also the best-selling console of the month for the UK, which is interesting. That's actually really surprising. Of the top 10, and I wrote that, so that's even more interesting. Of the top 10
Isn't that the
best
worst thing when you're like,
Colin
what?
just gets blind drunk and writes
I don't
news
ever
stories.
remember that game. What did IGN give it? You checking your review? You're like, oh, crap.
Well,
Of the top 10 best-selling games for the month in the U.S. at retail, 6 were on PlayStation consoles, including Call of Duty Advanced Warfare at 1, Grand Theft Auto 5 at 2, Madden NFL 15 at 4, Far Cry 4 at 6, NBA 2K15 at 8, and Assassin's Creed Unity at 9.
No surprise really right on, I think, Microsoft or Xbox One pulling it.
Oh, no, I said that was going to happen.
yeah.
Hashtag
Yeah,
Colin
between
was right.
the price drop and some of the
the
amazing
bundles.
bundles.
They really good
yeah.
bundles out there. And Sunset Overdrive, free
And
for
rad
a day.
exclusives. Yeah.
I still gotta play it.
It's a really good video game.
Number 2. Greg, were you impressed by the way Nathan Drake looked in the Uncharted 4 Thief's End demo
I
at
was.
PlayStation Experience?
And I had this guy next to me elbowing me the whole time going, are you see this.
Was it Tyrute?
No.
Because he looks like him.
Was it the guy from Spider-Man?
No,
That's what you
does that
sounded
sound
like.
like it? Hey, Spider-Man, you seeing this Uncharted demo?
Look at these shaders.
It looks like a real crane.
Let me swing this crane over here so you can see it on the big screen, Spidey.
What did the Green Goblin kill him?
Then you'll be pleased to know that the Drake in the cutscenes of the game is identical to the Drake you play as when you gain control. Character artist Colin Thomas says, quote, "A lot of that stuff we were definitely able to handle in shader as opposed to sculpting it to higher res, and that helped a lot to maintain from as he goes in game to cinematic the same level of detail. So nothing drops in terms of detail level once he gets into the game."
That is staggering.
End quote.
Uncharted
it is.
4.
That demo, that was a good video game demo.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
god,
really
that was
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Colin.
Did you see it? There's even a picture of us on.
I know, right? It's weird that somebody took a photo. Like it was right after Bruce finished the demo because he's like waving as he walks away. But like, yeah, you have this huge grin on your face, and I'm like clapping like an idiot. We have 2 Uncharted 4 questions. They're very fascinating. They're interesting because they go into what Uncharted 4 could be about and how it's all going to play out. Something that Mitch Dyer exposed me to when I went and did a commentary with him over the footage. He brought up, remember the original trailer where at the time Todd Stashwick talked over it, and then we don't know. We know he's no longer on the game. We don't know who he was playing. How does that fit in now with this new character, the brother and Troy?
Was it that character?
Exactly.
No.
That's what we're going to go into. Zach Thomas writes into beyond.ign.com just like you can. It says Beyond.
Beyond.
First off, it was awesome meeting you at PlayStation Experience, Greg. Thanks for taking a couple seconds to say hello and whatnot. Now, while watching your in-depth look at Uncharted 4 PSX gameplay and hearing Greg and whoever that other guy was discuss the possibility of Troy Baker replacing Todd Stashwick's part. It was Mitch.
Mitch.
That was what
okay.
I did, that commentary with Mitch. I'm trying to give you the back.
The other guy.
Well, I have a theory
Oh,
based
him?
on the original teaser trailer. At the time of that trailer, I boldly predicted that the character was in fact Dante from Uncharted Golden Abyss, who, spoiler alert, was left in a grave or whatever the hell they said by Drake. So, what in the world do you think of that theory, Greg, Colin? And please let it be Naomi in the third chair. Sorry to whoever is actually there. I'm just bummed I walked by her at PlayStation Experience because I was more excited about the keynote than taking a picture with her. Beyond. Also, can you give my blog a plug? snmpodcast.wordpress.com. There you go, Zach Thomas.
What if that's just a really racist blog?
We effed up, and I apologize ahead of time for everybody. No, that's the whole thing is... Yeah, I when Mitch and I were going through it, and then we introduced Troy, the brother, because he says something to the effect of, like, he's the big brother. He says something about little brother to Drake or whatever. Then Mitch is like, during the thing, he's talking about, well, if Stashwick's out, maybe Troy's in playing that guy. And if he's playing in, what does the whole Stashwick monologue mean?
Sure.
Because he talks about, you left me in a hole to rot for blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, like,
Yeah.
And even if he's not, then maybe Dante would be a good pick. So the question I have, is Troy Baker replacing Todd Stashwick? Is he the brother?
Yeah.
So that's question number 1.
Okay.
Is the brother a bad guy? Is question number 2.
Sure.
Sub question to that, if the brother isn't a bad guy, is Dante the bad guy from Golden Abyss?
So, to answer them going backwards.
Yes.
I feel like it would be weird of them to have such like a strong tie-in with Golden Abyss. Just
Right.
because a lot of people did not play that game.
I agree.
And won't play that game before this game comes out. So to me, that just seems a little bit weird. Yes, there's like the dialogue sort of points towards like, well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's there. The character, the brother definitely didn't look like Troy Baker, which is weird because a lot of Troy Baker's character, like, you know, when they do like, the
Mocap.
and
Naughty
visual-
Dog's big on everything making
yeah,
it look.
like,
But Joel didn't look too much
Joel
like
didn't.
Troy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He to me, he looked more like Todd.
A lot of people have said that.
Yeah, so I think they are the same character, that he's taken over that role. Yeah, I mean, just in terms of narrative, I feel like him turning on Drake would make sense.
See, now, I agree it makes sense, and my problem with it is, like...
It's a little too on the nose.
That's Naughty Dog every
Yeah.
time. No offense to Naughty Dog, you're fantastic, but I always say I like Uncharted 3 more than 2 because 2 was beat for beat Uncharted 1.
Yeah.
Hey, here's this person. Oh, he's betrayed you. Okay, what's happening here? Oh, there's this girl. She doesn't really like you, but maybe she'll come around. Oh, she's coming around.
was some betrayal in
Look at that
3,
crazy ass supernatural thing. Here's the twist. Ah! You know what I mean? Like,
That kind
I
of
feel
happens
like
in 3, though, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah,
This one's
that's
all about
because-
Sully.
Yeah,
What up,
but
Sully?
there's a betrayal, like Cutter like you think Cutter betrays you, and you think,
that's what I kept saying. That's what I talk about in the reviews. That they keep turning it on its head.
Yeah.
And you expect Talbot. Oh, he can disappear around corners and crap. This guy's gonna be a ghost or something. And it's like, no.
But there was that weird
Just a whipping
supernatural.
boy.
There was that weird supernatural ending, or the last fight. I mean, they were tripping, but
Yeah.
Oh, right. But again, like, and that was the thing too. Is when that happened, I was like, oh, they're doing this again. And then it was like, oh no, he's poisoned. Like,
Yeah.
I like the fact that they kept acting like they were doing their old
Right.
things. Maybe that's the same thing here.
Yeah,
they're
the
telegraphing
Talbot-
this punch, but they come
the
with
Talbot thing was annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you leave like a tarot card behind at some point or something like that?
think so,
Some
yeah.
weird thing, and I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because it's just, I'm a creep.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo.
And then you fight him with the knife or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, what a game.
What a game.
That was a good video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we see more of that Uncharted series at some point soon. I think we will.
Yeah, I think you will too.
that was a-
Oh, that's what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
a weird question.
It's interesting. It's gonna be great. I don't know. Like it's still flabbergasting to think about that the same guy, his brother, is gonna be the guy who did the whole thing because he seems so nice when they meet him in the thing.
Yeah.
He meets them and
He's
they get
such
up
a
there.
sweetheart.
They climb up there and he's like, "Come on, bro."
Yeah, you see, they cut right before they get a smooch on the cheek.
They did not.
Okay, they did.
Colin, I got another one for you. Ready?
Okay, hit me.
This one comes from
Hit me, Sergeant.
Norman.
That's from, what is that from? That movie with Cher? And when
Mask.
she has daughters?
Witches
Mystic
of
Pizza.
Eastwick.
Not Mystic Pizza. No, is there a
My
movie
Left
called
Hand.
Mermaids or something? Or,
Xanadu.
I don't know. Go ahead. Just go ahead. It doesn't
This is
matter.
Norman from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Oh.
He says, "Hello, Beyond, you
Beyond.
adorable bastards."
Oh, I like this guy already.
As a loyal PlayStation gamer living in South Africa and being the ultimate Uncharted fan, I must say that I wet my pants watching that Uncharted 4 gameplay.
That's not good.
I wanted to point something out to you, though, that many people seem to have missed. The mercenaries that Drake is avoiding are all speaking in South African accents.
Oi!
It does kind of make sense when you see the original teaser trailer, and that map highlights the Cape of Good Hope as a significant location, which is, of course, South African. I doubt, though, the setting we saw at PlayStation Experience is South Africa, because we don't have regions that look anything like that, so I'm guessing that's Madagascar or the Congo. One last thing, Greg. When you see Mitch Dyer, please give him a slap from all the Vita owners. How dare he say the Golden Abyss game was a boring game?
Wow.
I will hit him for you.
Don't slap him.
I have to.
Do what you have to do.
It was asked.
Don't let anyone tell you what to do, Greg. Don't let anyone put you in a box.
Thank you.
Or
no
in a
one puts me
corner
in a box.
like
I'm hard
baby.
to get in a box. Don't put me in a baby either.
What about a big box?
But that's interesting too. This is another thing because when we were doing the rewind on the trailer or the the giant gameplay demo, it was where are we? It's jungly. There's
Sure.
cliffs. This could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Except the north.
Yeah. So my theory about what we saw at E3, I don't think that's in the game. I think that was that's like a thing. That's a thing that's not going to be in the video game. A lot of times we see that.
Oh, where
First
he wakes
looks
up
at games,
and there's
yeah.
the cages and stuff.
Yeah, first looks at games, a lot of
Yeah.
times, they just show us a thing that's not even a vertical slice, just like a sort of a tone piece.
Sure.
And I
Yeah,
feel like
that's a
that was more of a
teaser
tone
trailer.
piece.
Yeah.
Also, Drake in that looked a lot older than the Drake we saw at PSX, so I don't know if that just means, maybe the story will span 15 years.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because
I think it will.
that's something going back to Zach's question of the brother and stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
he's the bad guy or whatever. What if the section we saw was playing through the very beginning of the game?
Yeah.
And then something goes awry and the brother's taken away.
Then it's like
and then
10
everything
years
else.
later.
Yeah. And then we get old Drake
Yeah.
in the Cage Man areas.
Cage Man.
Cage Man. Mega Man 11.
Cage Man.
Cage.
Was it really a Cage Man?
No, I wish there was.
God.
They're old.
I said something else
Give it some
stupid
time.
the other day about a name, and you're like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, and you had like a history. I was like, I made that up, and I cannot believe that was a real Mega Man guy.
Sheep Man?
Armor Man, maybe? I think that might have been him. No,
No,
Hard
Hard
Man.
Man.
Hard Man.
Hard Man. That was a Mega Man 3 guy, too.
Yeah, and I was
That
saying
early.
that it was just an unfortunate translation. Like, he probably should have been named... I'm sure it did literally
Really,
translate from
Bullet
hard.
Man or something?
It should be maybe Armor Man.
Yeah.
Because he's got that thick armor.
Okay,
Just silence.
Is that it?
you can go back to the Roper Report. Yeah, I wanted to
Are
bring
you
up those
done?
Uncharted factoids, those Uncharted 4 mysteries.
I forgot that we were in
Very
the Roper
mysterious.
Report.
Number 3. Yes, Marty, The Last Guardian is still in development.
Oh, man.
And in conversation with Japanese publication Dengeki PlayStation, the game's creator, Fumito Ueda, says that after a time of seeming trouble with Sony and Team Ico, quote, talks with Sony Computer Entertainment on The Last Guardian have been ironed out, and we're making progress under completely new conditions. I'm also working on some other things that I'll hopefully be able to show in time if progress is smooth.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
I'm excited for all this. Yeah.
Are you? I'm so over the Last
I'm
Guardian.
really
Stop.
intrigued by it. I'm more intrigued by it than almost anything else in the
So
gaming industry.
I can't
but
be
I don't-
over it because for me, Ueda is one of the few people in the games industry who is currently perfect at bat.
Okay,
He's batting 1,000. Granted, he's been up there twice.
sure.
He's been taking
he's
a
been
very
at the-
long time. He's been hitting a lot of foul balls over
Been
the
at the plate for 8 years.
hitting a lot of foul balls.
He's just watching him come straight down the middle and he's
Yeah.
swinging.
Yeah. And so I'm sort of, it's been a long time. It's getting to that point. You always bring up that fact that in the same span of time, Naughty Dog has done the Jack X, the Uncharted trilogy,
Last of Us.
Last of Us, and now Uncharted 4, which is just the most ridiculous sentence ever. But I love those two games so much. I'll give them the time.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we've talked about this for several years, but this is really the thing. Like, in a few weeks, it's 2015, and that would be 10 years by year since Shadow of the Colossus came out. 10 Years.
Yeah. That's a decade.
They missed an entire console. That's funny stuff. I can't believe Sony is still making that game. Number 4. In a conversation with IGN, PlayStation UK's boss Fergal Gara admitted that Sony, as well as Sony-owned developer Evolution Studios, is quote-unquote embarrassed over Drive Club's rampant launch issues. This is a long quote, so bear with me. It's interesting, though. Sit back. Relax.
Go take my pants
Quote,
off.
it's a disappointment when you lay your soul out as being for the players. Hashtag for the players. Then what you certainly don't want is games that are not fully ready. It certainly wasn't any ill intention on behalf of the team. It's ambitious as a game. They're as embarrassed as we are, and all you can do in those situations is say sorry. We apologize to any players affected and are doing our damnedest to make things right. So that's what we've been doing, and the game is pretty near complete now. We don't want to introduce the PS Plus edition until we're confident the servers can take the load. Unleashing it on the millions of PS Plus users is the next step, but we want confidence in the capability and concurrency figures. I'll say again, we apologize and we apologize and are trying to sort it out, and we'll hopefully learn from it so we see it less in the future. End quote.
Yeah, I mean, that's an honest statement. I like that. I like that he's not pussyfooting around it. He's getting right to the core of the matter. It is a shame that the game launched with so many problems. It's a shame that so many games this fall launched with so many problems.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's just sort of indicative of the current AAA space, of people not quite used to how to develop for these consoles, staggering budgets, time crunches, having to release in this holiday window and not be able to push it. But as an answer, I think that was a pretty sincere answer.
Yeah. Colin, a kid did write into Beyond at ign.com, just like you can, and said it was just short and sweet, and it was like, Drive Club's fixed. You guys got to stop making fun of it. And I said, delete. No one will ever hear you. I choose what happens on this podcast.
Oh!
I shut the metal gate.
No!
No! Like Man in the Iron Mask. Remember
Yeah.
that movie?
Do you see that weather? That weather in the game now, though.
Oh, that was
It's
that's a
very
big
pretty.
thing.
There's
Yeah.
no doubt that it's a very pretty game. That's all I can say about it because I haven't played it. Number 5. Grand Theft Auto 5's long-awaited heist functionality has finally been revealed, though when heist will join Grand Theft Auto Online remains to be seen. Rockstar admits that it's taken so long because doing what they wanted to do proved harder than they thought. We have a full interview and reveal trailer on IGN. It's not worth rehashing it here, but I wanted to bring that to people's attention because I know a lot of
people
people are
want that for
very, very curious about it. Yeah, it's weird that it took them so long.
It's crazy that it took them so long. That was such a big part of them when they were talking about it online.
Probably because they were porting the game, too.
This is true.
Number 6, I'm real excited about this one. DMC Devil May Cry, the continuation of this series from developer Ninja Theory. It's officially coming to PlayStation 4 as well as Xbox One. The so-called Special Edition will launch on March 17, 2015. Will include all DLC, new difficulty settings, some special new goodies, and will run at 60 frames per second and 1080p. And yes, it will include trophies. It will cost $40.
All of that is great. That's what I want to see from these reissues. Cheaper price, give us a little bit extra content, and choose games that people missed the first time around. A lot of people missed DMC, which is a shame because that game is awesome. That game is super
Ryan
rad.
Clements approved.
That's good. It's tough to do. He didn't like anything. He gave Journey a 9.
Yeah.
The animal.
Jerk.
I think that I might have given Journey a 10.
I would have given an 11.
But I can't disagree with it. I mean, you can't fret about a 9. That's a pretty good
With-
score.
With Journey, you can.
Do you know that Genova Chen was so upset he left games?
I heard about that. I don't know. I think that I'm just tired of these HD re-releases of games that just came out.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
there's nothing novel about this. DMC just came out by the time this came out about two years and 2 months before. So it's, and Sleeping Dogs was even a more egregious example. I think I'm excited about Uncharted, coming to PS4. I'm sure that we're going to get an Uncharted trilogy. I'm sure we are. That's obvious, I think. I'm excited when games that are long dormant, like Final Fantasy VII, even if it's not been touched up at all, is coming out. But when you're just I just released a game 2 years ago, and now I'm releasing it. Tomb Raider was the worst. That was the worst one.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just weird. I don't like it. It's very strange to me, and I understand that Ninja Theory needs money, and Capcom needs money, and that's great. But when I read that, I was like, come on, DMC. I understand it's a great game. I haven't played it. I'm not judging the quality of the game itself, and I'm like, come on, Capcom. You have all these awesome games that we haven't seen in years. Why don't you re-release those instead? Instead of this game. It's just I appreciated people like it. I posted something about it on Twitter, just saying people are going to keep releasing these, developers and publishers, until we stop buying them. And a lot of, or if we keep buying them, they'll keep releasing them. And people were like, well, most people, I would say, a majority of people were like, well, I have no problem with it. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm in the minority, but that's really the way I feel. I just think it's too much. I would rather that we get some new stuff.
Stop the insanity.
Speaking of which,
Oh, that was a segue.
Susan Power.
number 7. It looks like Borderlands is coming to PlayStation 4. A so-called Borderlands Remastered Edition has seemingly been leaked by the Australian classification board and is en route to both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Unfortunately, it's unclear whether this collection will include all 3 Borderlands.
Oh, the pre-sequel.
Yeah, we'll wait to hear more from 2K.
We've been saying forever the pre-sequel is going to come out.
Yeah, no,
sure.
I think so. Yeah, we have said that on this podcast, and I think it's obvious. It's just, this is another example. I mean, it's fine, because a lot of people missed the game. It just came out, but to each his own, I guess. But again, this was another thing where I'm like, I'd rather you guys use some of your resources to just make a new Borderlands game. Yeah.
See, this one I give him a pass on, because like this came at the point when I was already off my PS3. I like Borderlands.
Yeah.
I wanted to play the pre-sequel. I didn't feel like hooking it up and trying to find friends and navigating the XMB and doing all the dumb little things that I now I can take for granted with the PS4. So this one, sure, just port it out and get it over. Borderlands 2 again?
Take it or leave it.
My saves all carried over.
Well, they work with the Vita version.
Exactly.
Does
There's still
anyone
so
want
much
to play
DLC.
Borderlands 1? Is that even going to be in there?
Nobody wants to play Borderlands.
I feel like everyone's forgotten about that game.
Yeah.
I liked Borderlands 1 when it came out.
We all did.
It was called Borderland.
Borderland.
Oh,
Number 8.
Borderland.
Marty, did you like Alien Isolation?
I've played about 6 hours of it, and I am at that point where I'm realizing I'm not going to like it anymore.
Then we have good news.
That doesn't sound like good news.
This is
at
just
all.
what I wrote, so
Okay.
it's too late. I can't go back. It may just get a sequel. In a conversation with AVP Galaxy, which I assume is an Alien vs. Predator site.
You'd think so.
The game's lead designer, Greg Napper, said that, quote, the plot to the sequel is a daily topic in the studio sometimes. Which is a weird way of putting it.
Daily topics sometimes.
People have their own ideas for where it should go. Our writers have some solid concepts. And yes, we do have a great opportunity to continue the story. The being in brackets because it's a little bit spoilerish if I use the exact quote
Sure.
there.
That was good of you.
End quote.
What's in my mirror? What does it say?
I don't have it here. I will tell you what it is later if you want to know.
Just tell me now.
Well,
Whisper
you
in my
become a
ear.
predator at the end of the game.
What?
Number 9.
Number 9.
Sony has revealed 2 special editions for the upcoming PS4 exclusive game Bloodborne. One is called the Collector's Edition, and will come with the game, a steelbook case, an art book, new concept art, and a download case for the game soundtrack, or a download code, for the game soundtrack.
You downloadable cases here. You got 3D printer.
The Nightmare Edition comes with all of that.
That sounds spooky.
Plus a Gothic-style notebook, a quill and red ink set,
Whoa.
a quote-unquote top hat messenger skin for in-game use, a bell trinket, and a book tin.
Okay.
What's your
I want that
What's your
jacket.
Bloodborne voice?
I don't remember.
Bloodborne.
I don't,
You
I
said
don't-
every time you.
Bloodborne. I don't know. It's probably totally different than the last
Yeah.
time I said it.
Close enough.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's a video game I'm going to play.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah,
Twice.
it does.
Twice?
It does look good.
Yeah.
Well,
You
it's very
platinum
good.
I'm gonna bronze and silver it.
Wow.
No, we're not platinum. You don't care about that stuff.
No, I don't.
You really don't care.
No,
Like when something like an achievement or a trophy pops up,
No.
you just don't.
I kind of get angry. So I'm like, get out of my game. I don't like that pop. It's like champagne. It scares me.
Champagne, yeah.
Oh,
Number
that's
10.
French.
Final Fantasy X-10-2 HD remaster, which came to what?
No, I'm just laughing because you keep
Number
having
10,
to read
Final
these stories
Final
about
Fantasy
things that you don't want to
10.
read.
Which came to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita earlier this year, is now coming to PlayStation 4 as well. The PS4 iteration will be available in the spring of 2015, around the same time that Final Fantasy VII's PS4 debut is set to come out. All right, number 11. Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn subscriber numbers have exploded. More than 2.5 million registered accounts now exist for the game, an increase of 500,000 players since April, when the number stood around 2 million.
That's crazy.
A Realm Reborn's first expansion pack is due out early next year.
They're all Destin Legary playing on alts.
Loves that Realm Reborn.
He does.
He's a man reborn after playing A Realm Reborn, I would
That's
say.
good. That was cute.
Number 12. This is just some wrap up. The PS4 version of Trine, called the Enchanted Edition, will launch on December 17th in Europe and December 23rd in North America. I swear to God, that game's been re-released 17 times.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what the hell's going on.
I feel like I have 3 versions of it from PlayStation Plus. I don't even know what they are.
like I don't. Maybe it's time to
Make Trine 3?
make another
make it
Trine
good.
game. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's Trine the Enchanted Edition. I guess that's just the original. I don't know. And quirky-looking tower defense game Crinkle Crusher with K's. Crinkle
Whoa.
Crusher will be coming to PS4, PS3, and Vita in February of 2015.
Oh, Crinkle Crush.
Gotta got that Crinkle Crusher.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
I gotta have that Crinkle
gotta
Crusher.
have it.
But Marty,
Yeah.
Crinkle Crusher isn't out yet.
Oh my gosh.
If I wanted to know what was in the Mom and Grop shops,
Mom
where
and
would I
Grop. The Andrew Goldfarb Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good and want to do other things good too.
There you go.
Yeah. Womp, 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 womp.
Now I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Clements finally stepped his game back up?
Yes.
Ryan
Oh!
Clements.
That's because of his
Answering-
appearance on Podcast Beyond.
Well, no, we told everybody to tweet him and tell him to take pride in his work. And he
wow.
he started responding to the first few dozen people who did it, going, what? And then when they started saying Greg, he stopped responding.
All right. On PS4 and PS3 digitally and retail, Guilty Gear Xrd Sign is out, and that's supposed to be a really, really good game if you're a fighting fan.
Excellent.
Vince can't shut up about it.
Loadout is available PS4 and digitally.
Tyroot.
Oh yeah, he made that game.
Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots is available on PS3 digitally.
Whew, finally.
Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots is set in a battle-scarred future where huge conglomerates fight for supremacy using armies of hand-picked mercenaries. This devastated world is seen through the battle-weary eyes of an older Solid Snake, who has been charged with infiltrating a number of key locations across the globe.
Jeff Haynes from IGN is quoted as saying, yeah.
Oddworld Munch's Odyssey HD is available on Vita. I think it's a digital only, and I think that's been a long time coming. Super Mega Baseball is available on PS4 and PS3 digitally cross-buy.
Is that a Mega Man baseball game?
The cross-buy with PS4 and PS3 games makes no sense, by the way. But I appreciate that you give both, but
the value
it doesn't really make any sense. Here's what it says. Hammer Long Ballo and a friendly cast of semi-athletic baseball stars invite you out to the ballpark for a blazing fast, ultra-responsive game of hardball.
Hey,
Super Mega Baseball is easy to learn, but you'll want to master jumping, diving, wall catches, power swings, /throws, and cut-off plays to prevail in season mode.
Ryan Clements just, all he did is
He
like,
wiki
he's
baseball?
just, yeah, he's like, am I spelling these words correctly? Does he write these, you think, or does he just take like what the
I hope he
developers?
does. I like to think
no,
he
because
does.
remember how some of the minis are like barely in English. They're like, you know what I mean? Like,
But he wasn't there when the minis were being released.
sure, but I doubt he's out there. This isn't an artisanal.
If he's not doing this, what is he doing?
He's taken what the developers write, he's punching it up, shortening it up, putting it in there.
Now here's the big one, Greg.
Yeah, I already know where this is going.
Tetris Ultimate on PS4 digital.
Woo! It's here! It's here!
The grudge match, it continues unabated. The world's most loved puzzle game arrives on PS4 with fun new features and unique visuals. The evolution of this iconic game is the ultimate must-have in this fast-paced game of skills. You can take on the puzzle game solo, team up, or battle friends, and you know I'm gonna just waste you in this game.
You know
just
that's not. You know
waste
that's,
you.
you know that's not
just like I was on the 3DS version.
I remember the record not being wasted.
You won maybe 1 out of 5 when we were playing.
BS. That's some BS. Well, first off, I don't think we played more than 6 matches.
So 1 out of 5.
Here's my question about the Tetris problem. Why is this not on Vita? Come on, Ubisoft. You put it on the 3DS. If the Lego guys are porting over their 3DS games, you can port over Tetris. Put it on Vita. Now I'm going to be remote playing it in the house, wishing I could get on the train.
You cannot remote play that game. It's not going to be possible.
Think so?
I'll put you away quicker than ever if you remote play that game. You're going to be all latent.
Yeah, Professor Layton. I've got it.
Maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe it'll be all right. Maybe the latency won't be that bad.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. But all I know is that the grudge match is renewed
All right, good.
from EA Tetris circa 2010 on PS3.
This time, though, the world's watching.
That's true.
We're gonna do a best of 70 competition.
You
my
want to?
gosh,
We should do a best of 70
over the year 2015. We'll have a standing Friday Tetris lunch.
That's it.
That was it. We did it.
This has been Podcast Beyond, episode whatever. Now, we're talking about remote play not being that great sometimes. The latency getting in the way. Mm-hmm. Lyle from Seattle, Washington writes in, trying to avoid this problem. He says, greetings, Greg, Colin, and Marty. He
Hello.
says, hopefully, ever-rotating third show. I don't know what that means. Marty is permanent. Marty's here. Catch up on your podcast.
I'm actually homeless, so I'm squatting here. I'm sleeping in this office.
It's funny because you just did Game Scoop with me. Then you came in here, and you're staying here to do Unlocked right after this.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I would have stood in the way of you being on the show if I knew you were doing Unlocked still, too. You traitorous bastard.
What is happening?
I think we might have to make an insistence that you leave that podcast.
I'm going to single-handedly end the console war. I'm going to bring balance to the force. I'm going to be on Tech Fetish. I'm going to make sure people care about techs again, like mechs.
Is Tech Fetish still going? It's not just white noise they post every week?
Oh, God. I think it's going. I see it on the blog girl every once in a while.
Okay, I don't know. It's not. I just don't. I remember. Yeah, do they still do Fresca stuff?
I don't know.
Is Justin Davis still on it?
Probably.
Is Scott still on it?
No, he's not for sure on it anymore.
Does Scott still work here?
No. IGN does too many podcasts. I can't keep up on them.
TMP.
You know, they still got the channel surfing going too.
Wow.
It's just there's a million podcasts in the back end. I'm like,
I want to be on Keeping It Real.
You know, Digigods has more episodes than Podcast Beyond. I don't even know.
I still don't even know what that show is.
I know it's like a freelance podcast.
It's just about religion.
No, it's their
your
logo
digital
is like a
religion.
DVD. I don't know what the hell they're about. I guess we could listen to one episode, figure out all
we can
answer
solve
all these
this
questions.
very quick.
Lyle says, The holidays are right around the corner, and I will be flying home to spend a few days on vacation with my parents. Time away from the office will allow for some extended gaming sessions, and I'm looking forward to putting some serious time into Dragon Age Inquisition. My two-part question is this. Do you have any tips for traveling by plane with your PS4 console, and what are some of your favorite holiday gaming marathon memories? Thanks and beyond, Lyle.
I would keep it on you. I would not check it in.
When I came back from New York, when we got the PlayStation 4s out there, that's what I did. Is all the cables in there, but the actual unit myself slid in my bag, because they now have it where it's like, oh, you have to pull out all your computers and your toilets, and they have like an Xbox 360 in there. Yeah, pull out your toilets.
You have portable toilets?
Yeah, don't you?
I mean, like diapers. Yeah.
Oh, I just carry like a Walmart bag.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, you pull it out, you put it through the X-ray machine. You're fine.
Yeah, and it's a small console. It's much easier to travel with that than an Xbox One.
The one you put under your seat.
Yeah.
Or a toilet. Yeah, put
a
a toilet.
toilet.
And what about favorite holiday marathon gaming memories?
Wow. I mean, a lot. I would always, whatever, I'd usually get like 2 games for Christmas as a kid, and I would just play the hell out of those. I remember stuff going back to A Link to the Past and Earthbound, all the way up to every Final Fantasy game that ever came out. I always got on Christmas. Majora's Mask. Yeah. You were a Deku shrub in that game for a little while.
Sure were.
Deku. Count Deku.
Count
the Sith
DK.
Lord.
For me, I talk all the time about my favorite gaming memory that I got for Christmas was WWF Royal Rumble on Genesis. I remember being so excited to get it. It was the first thing that had like a real wrestling match pace to it. But the one that sticks out to me too is when I got my N64 for Christmas. And I got WWF Warzone with it, along with Mario 64, of course. And it was one of those crappy things where we got it, yay! It's like, all right, we got to get ready to go to your aunt's. But I got to bring it with me.
Nice.
And I came there and I hooked up the 64 and played WWF Warzone.
I'm sure your family really appreciated that.
Well, and not to mention that it was like, this isn't like, oh, like my uncle wanted to play or whatever. And it's like, it was the old combo-based games. You know what I mean? Like I've done it, and like I had them all memorized already because I bought the strategy guide ahead of time. Like I wanted to be ready for the game or whatever. So like,
Jesus Christ, you are really...
That was something.
I want to just go back in time and just be with you.
Just be with you.
Be with you and just see what kind of life you were living, because it sounds like a cartoon.
If
life.
you can call it living.
Well,
Mega Man 3 always reminds me of Christmas because that's when I fell in love with Mega Man for real. Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Brave Fencer Musashi.
Oh man.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
was a Christmas game for me. And in fact, I got Metal Gear Solid, I want to say Christmas 98. That's right. And that was when DualShock came out.
With Ape Escape.
And I went, was it 98, wasn't it? Was it 99 maybe? It was something like that. And all I remember is that I went to the mall the day after Christmas to get a DualShock controller.
Whoa.
And it was a goddamn nightmare in that mall.
Really?
I'll never forget it. Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrifying.
Yeah.
And then, Then I started buying my own games, so I stopped really even getting games.
Yeah, I haven't. God, I don't remember what the last like Christmas game I got was. Probably in college, before college.
Yeah, right after college, I remember I got Shadow of the Colossus on PS2 and whatever Hitman that was that time.
Yeah,
those are the last like definitive video games I remember ever getting.
Yeah,
just because by that point, once you have a job and a car, it's over. You're buying it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, come even high school, for the most part, I would ask my parents for money. The only difference was when I got my PS2, I got my PS2 at launch, but it was my mom was like, "I'll get it for you, but it's your Christmas present and your birthday present."
Ooh.
So I got it for my birthday, but I got no Christmas present that year.
Yeah, Christmas was canceled.
And then they gave me like Summoner, and I was like, damn it. And then I got some random miscellaneous like GameCube games when I was like a senior in high school probably. But after like from freshman in college on, I don't think I've ever gotten a video game for Christmas from anyone, because I used to buy like so many games, like just for no reason. I had so many. My biggest collection of games is my PS2 and my GameCube games and my Xbox games, my original Xbox games. Between those 3 consoles, I must have had like well over 100 games for sure,
wow.
like for real, like for sure.
Yeah.
And I would go and just buy. I used to make Pear laugh because when I was doing database work as a freelancer when I was in college, that was like another $200, $250 a month that I was making or whatever. So I was already making like a lot of money from guides and from IGN-TV. So I didn't really. I mean, I could have used the money in retrospect, but I was like, I don't need the money. I don't need the money. You guys are doing me a big favor. Instead of paying me, buy me 4 games a month of my choosing and send them to me.
Wow.
That's an awesome deal.
And so like I remember getting like really like Twin Snakes on GameCube. All sorts of random stuff. I remember when I won FAQ Writer of the Month on IGN in like November 2002. I got like I got 2 free games, and I think that's when I got Luigi's Mansion and Eternal Darkness on GameCube.
Wow.
So I would just buy all these games, and I had like no intention of playing half of them. You know, like
just want them on
they
the
just
shelf?
wanted them to be there.
Yeah.
And now they're just sitting in crates. My brother went to my our beach house got destroyed in Hurricane Sandy, New Jersey. But the first floor was like all screwed up. But we thank God a lot of our stuff was in the attic.
Yeah.
It was fine. And so I dispatched my brother to New Jersey because he lives in Philadelphia and he got all my games. Like my NES, SNES, N64, all that stuff. And you said only a few things were missing. Like you didn't see my Genesis games and something else. But so most of them are there. And the Genesis games, who cares? He was like, gee, like,
Why are there so
hell
many?
is
of
going
these?
on
Mom
here?
and Dad buy you all this garbage?
It's like, geez, Louise. Like I remember buying like so many Dreamcast games and all this stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I had a lot of Dreamcast games for a system that was around for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Dreamcast games.
I remember the last Dreamcast game I bought. It was after Dreamcast was
9999.
no, I know, but it was discontinued April 2001,
Yeah.
something like that, spring 2001. I remember. I feel like the next year they were still releasing like Dreamcast games.
Yeah.
And I think they like released Sega Smash Pack Volume 1.
Oh yeah.
And that was and it had like all this Genesis and
Yeah.
Master System stuff on it. And I remember that was the last Dreamcast game I bought. And I bought it so I can play like Phantasy Star or something. I never even did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I used to just get paid, especially when I was in high school. I get paid like $150 a week at my job, whatever, and I just go spend it all on
Sure.
games, just
You're
for
dumb.
no reason.
Yeah. Save your money, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, save your money. I'd be rich. I'd be retired if I had all the money back that I spent on.
But you wouldn't be here probably.
That's
You wouldn't
true.
have the knowledge base that it takes to
Yeah.
anchor this chair. Right
I wouldn't
here.
have played
Samba de
Kill
Amigo.
Switch.
Oh
God,
God.
how can you not play that?
Kill
Switch.
Switch. Kill Switch was pretty good. I mean, Kill Switch was the kind of the cover-based shooter
Yeah.
that inspired a lot of cover-based shooters. But yeah, just really random games like that. Kill Switch and all. Yeah, just all these random games that are long forgotten. Black.
Black was
yeah.
awesome.
Sounded good. Great
with
sound.
the
sound.
everything you can destroy everything in it.
That was such a big deal, I remember. Jacob writes into Beyond and says, Beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond.
And he also said, hey, Greg, Colin, and Marty.
Oh,
there you go. That's an
nice.
official shout out
That
to
is. Thanks. It's so many paper cuts.
you. He says, as a photographer, I listen to Beyond while editing pictures, and you make the time go by a lot faster. So thank you for that, as well as the laughs. It's much appreciated. While listening to last week's episode, Colin had mentioned that he had gotten around to seeing a lot of indie games at PlayStation Experience, and it sounds like there are a ton of awesome games to look forward to. But I was wondering if Colin had a chance to play Axiom Verge, and if so, what his thoughts on, because it doesn't seem to be there's a whole lot of coverage about it. Hope to hear something. All the best, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play Axiom Verge there because I have a build of it. And I had a build of it in June. I mean, I wrote extensively about the game in June, so you can go back and look for that on IGN. There's a preview and a written preview and a video preview for it. That game's really, really awesome.
Yep.
That game's really, really, really awesome. I can't wait to play it.
Explain
on
it.
Vita.
I can't remember which one.
It's
Axiom Verge is.
it's Metroid. It's like the NES Metroid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they do a
I
lot-
do remember this one then. Okay.
They do a lot of interesting things with like the pixels messing up and like
Right.
corruption and corrosion.
Yeah, there's like a gun you use that like if you like you're going through the stage and everything's like static, like almost like hex art.
Yeah.
And then like some of the blocks look like they're glitches.
I remember when I walked
and
by
you
your
use a
Axiom
gun
Verge.
and you like can fix the glitch and then like
Yeah.
go through to like secret areas. So there's like that's like kind of the hook of the game, but it is Metroid. And it's coming PS4, Vita, PC early next year. I cannot wait to
It's
play that game.
all one guy. Is
Yep.
that right? Yeah.
This guy's name is Tom Happen. He made the whole game himself.
It's crazy.
Nutso.
Don't do that.
All the art, the music, I think all that stuff is him. The programming, obviously.
Wow.
It's cray.
Good design. Yeah, it's actually a really beautiful game too. If you fight some of the bosses, like the huge room, bosses that take up the whole room and would make an NES kind of slow down because there's so many moving parts. It's a great vision of what those games could have looked like if the NES was just a little more powerful.
That's awesome. All right, we'll go back then. Read that article, Jacob.
Axiom Verge is awesome, but I got to tell you guys, and I think I told you already, that the game that really stuck with me even more than Axiom Verge was Cosmic Star Heroine. That
Oh, yeah,
game
I've heard a lot of good
that
things
game
about
looks
that.
That's the
awesome.
one
It's
that's like
so
what
awesome.
Phantasy Star 5 would be.
Yeah, it looks like a Genesis RPG with kind of some Chrono Trigger combat. Because in Phantasy Star you were fighting, turn-based battles, but like you saw the back of the characters.
Yeah.
And then, so the field of view was kind of like the old Dragon Quest. In this, you run into it looks like Phantasy Star. It's got the sci-fi aesthetic, but kind of with a combination of fantasy, which is what was so awesome about Phantasy Star. But when you run into enemies, it turns into Chrono Trigger.
So the battles just happen right there.
Yeah, like the enemies just like line up like out of nowhere, and then like your guys line up.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about it is that the really cool thing about the hook of the combat is that you have to recharge all of your attacks. So like you use an attack and then you can't use it again until you like defend. So like it's strategic in a way. There's like all these buffs and stuff like that you can use to like make all your characters more powerful. So it requires the use of what I would call gray magic. Like support magic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And And I don't know if the term gray magic was ever something I was ever used. I just always started calling it that from Final Fantasy VI because all the support magic, like Osmos and all those things that were like kind of damaging or can kind of help you were all gray.
Yeah.
The icons and then
I
the
like
white
that term.
magic and then the black magic.
I like that term, gray magic.
You just coined something.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Colin Moriarty, trendsetter.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really cool and a very thoughtful game, and I'm really stoked about it. Like I played that, and I was telling the guys at the developers, like, this is awesome. Like, this
When's
is
it out?
Awesome. I don't think they know yet.
Axiom Verge, when's that out?
Axiom Verge early 2015. I think it might be done.
And that's the game that's by the guys who made the Penny Arcade RPG, correct?
Oh.
It starts with an N.
Yeah. Nintendo.
Nintendo. It's by Nintendo. I don't remember. I think it starts. No, that's not true. I'll look it up.
That's going to kill me. Because now that you've said that, I think we revealed screens for Cosmic Star Heroine, didn't we? And it was an exclusive I set up after I met all those guys.
I'm pretty sure they made it the Precipice of Darkness.
and the Rain Slip Darkness. Oh, shoot.
Sugar
That's
Plums.
going to kill me. You figure it out when you get
Don't
there.
die.
Z-Boyd Games.
There it is. Damn it.
Dogtown and Z-Boyd games.
Kyle writes into beyond at ign.com. It says, Beyond.
Beyond.
Dear Greg, Colin, and Marty. Again, he didn't say that. December is upon us, and it is time for gamers everywhere to start talking about what they think is 2014's GOTY. I could not help but notice that this year something was a little different. Traditionally, Game of the Year games are the biggest and best of the year's AAA games, but this year, many people are picking indie or small developed games as their favorite game of the year. There is an argument that there are so many small games being discussed because of a poor AAA release year, but I like to think that the indie games are getting better. AAA games are playing it safe with lots of sequels, similar gameplay, and a little divergence from a familiar path. However, small developers are taking risks and trying new things, which is resulting in more unique experiences. So my question is this. Do you believe that indie games will continue to be a big part of future Game of the Year discussions, or will better AAA release years keep them out of the running? Kyle, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, I think that they'll continue to become a bigger part of the industry, a bigger part of what you play, and a bigger part of the Game of the Year discussion, frankly, just based on that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going anywhere. That's the whole point. And the longer that indie games are around, the easier it'll be for everyone to wrap their heads around that they can be Game of the Year contenders. This is just like when downloadable games showed up, and it was always, that's pretty good for a downloadable game.
Yeah, it's so silly. I mean, I still see people online saying, like, I've never played an indie game. I've never played it. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, so what did you play? Like 4 games this year? Yeah. Like, well, what is wrong? Like, why? I want to get to a point where we don't, like, with the downloadable games, where we don't distinguish between indie and AAA. I do know that the indie games are embarrassing AAA games in terms of, in my opinion, in terms of what they're doing and how fun they are.
Yeah.
Quality,
creativity,
fun, profit margin for most of them.
Absolutely.
It's not to say that there aren't great AAA games. Of course there are, but it's to say that
Universe Online.
It's to say that.
And there's some awful indie games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it is to say that they are all the new ideas. That's what I was saying to people at PSX. Like when you walked into PSX, all the indie games were on the right, and all of the AAA games and first-party games were on the left. And I was saying all the new ideas are over here.
Yep.
And
he pointed to the right. For those
not watching.
And all the games I was most excited about were on that side.
Yep.
So there's no. I am so frustrated that people still won't give these games a chance. You have no idea what you're missing. A game like Shovel Knight or a game like. Back in the day, we nominated Hotline Miami, and people really enjoyed FTL, and people, it's not like it's that new of an ordeal here at IGN, but
that Vanishing Ether Carter, people like that one.
I like that one.
Vanishing,
yeah, Transistor.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Wolf Among Us.
Oh, Bastion! I cannot wait for Bastion.
Yeah, right.
I still gotta play
Again.
Transistor, man. I played Transistor for like an hour, and I just never went back to it.
Yeah, I want to restart because I did the same
there's
thing
too
where I
many
played Deep,
games.
something
Yeah.
distracted me, I came back and
You
I
gotta
was
play
awesome.
it. I'm so
I like
It's on the short list.
I know, it's really good. I've played it. I enjoy it. I like Supergiant a lot.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Like Greg Kasavin.
I like him.
I like him a lot.
He's losing weight. I don't like that.
Oh.
Another Team Fat Quitter. Saw him at PSX, wasting away.
You guys can both wear Team Fat Quitter shirts.
Yeah. How's your scone?
Oh, that's going to be harder for you to edit.
I know. I get carried away sometimes when I talk about scones.
Also, real talk,
almost wrote-
scones are awful.
Really?
I hate
They're
scones.
dry.
Yeah, as someone who worked at a Pete's Coffee for 3 years, anyone who ordered a scone, I was like, "What's your malfunction,
Hey,
dude?"
I guess I would never pay for a scone, but it was there.
Remember those
and I
cranberry
enjoyed
muffins we had in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, those were
Yeah,
good.
they were good.
They
yeah.
were really good.
Yeah.
And they had bananas too. There were some bananas there.
Cranana.
No, there was like, this is the banana and this is the muffin. They weren't combined into it. This
Gotcha,
is Vince.
gotcha.
And then this is Brian Malkowitz.
He is so big.
Well, these aren't to scale. Ryan writes in, this is Beyond. This is Ryan from Fresno, California,
Yo.
and I have a hard this is what he wrote. I have a hard hitting about my Vita. Left out question. I just picked one up because I'm traveling to Europe over the holidays and only have enough cash for one more game. With both Persona 4 and Freedom Wars receiving so much praise on the show and in the community, I ask this. Which should I get for my long journey overseas? I'm a fan of both genres and can't decide on my own. Thanks and beyond, Ryan.
I would say Persona.
1,000% yes.
It's a longer game. It's probably cheaper. I imagine Persona 4 Golden is $20.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
The big thing for me is that I love Freedom Wars. Everybody knows that. Persona 4 is single player the entire time. You don't need other people.
Yeah.
You're going to hit the threshold I'm at right now, being level 8 or whatever in Freedom Wars, where it's like, well, I need all these materials, but I can't beat these missions on my own. I need other people to play with me.
Yeah.
So if you're going solo, for sure, get Persona. And that's a huge game. It'll take you forever.
Yeah, and Persona 4 is one of the best JRPGs of the last decade.
Yeah.
RPGs, period. Take the J out.
Colin says he's going to play it when the drought comes.
You
But
still
the
haven't
drought
played
will
Persona
never
4?
come. The
No,
drought will never
yeah,
come.
there is no drought.
I won't. I refuse to play it.
It's like the film Hard Rain with Christian Slater.
Is it like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no drought. The rain is
Marty.
hard. Yes, sir.
You get to pick the next question.
I'm excited.
It's so hot in here, isn't it?
It
Hot
is
in
just
here?
really
very
hot
hot
today.
in here.
I have no idea
And
why.
I have to spend another hour and a half in here. And
I'm
it's just
dying.
dreadful.
So here you go. Coping with difficult times through games. What genres are you generally not into? Turok, the dinosaur hunter.
What?
How do you find time to play games? PSN sales and embargoes.
Let's do coping in difficult times. Let's bring some real talk here.
I love real talk.
Yeah, so do I.
Here we go.
You ever Real Monsters?
I
Oh, yeah, who could
Yeah.
forget?
All right.
That was a weird show. I didn't never really cared for that show.
This is from Ben,
Hey, Ben.
and you're going to regret picking him. Not right away. Well, you right away, but then you'll get over it. But he says beyond. He says beyond.
Beyond.
Greg, Colin, and Brian. Then he puts in parentheses, I know Marty is the new third chair. So why are you taking shots, Ben? Why are you taking shots? You know who's
Across
sitting
the
there.
bow. I chose your question.
Yeah. Beyond. You guys are awesome. Hearing the Frank Furlano podcast brought me to tears. He is a kick-ass dude, by the way. I am 27 years old with cystic fibrosis and grew up in and out of the hospital, sometimes for periods longer than a month at a time. Oddly enough, this is not what started my love of video games. My memories of being in the hospital are not of IV poles and breathing treatments, but consist more of flying around in Mario's Tanuki suit, figuring out Zelda's dungeons, and closing gates to oblivion. Yep, closing gates to oblivion. Just making sure I didn't screw that up. I'm always afraid I'm screwing something up. Greg, I've also heard you mention several times about you having cancer. My question, how do you guys feel video games have helped you cope through difficult times in your life? Sometimes you have things in your life that just need to take a, quote, mental holiday from, and I feel like my video games help me do that. Very interested to hear some of your personal experiences and beyond. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah. You made it up for besmirching me at the
He
beginning.
besmirched you right away. That's what he did right away.
But then he had a really good question. So.
Yeah. How do video games help us all through times? I think escape, that's a big part of it, right?
Yeah.
I had written a long time ago, you can Google it, Infamous, Greg Miller playing through the pain of when I was getting divorced and Infamous came out and I'd been waiting forever that.
Yeah.
And like that was like this thing of get lost in, just worry about blast shards. Don't worry about anything else. Just focus on that.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. And then cancer, yeah. Like when I could, like, focus, I played Vita all the time during chemo. You know what I mean? When I couldn't, I just laid there with my eyes closed because it hurt.
Oh, look how dark.
Yeah. Well, this is a dark question.
This is a dark
There's no way
question. I
around
chose
this one.
it.
This is on you, Sleeva.
Yeah, I associate one-to-one with a lot of deaths in my family, in my life, with the games I played either when I found out or immediately afterwards. That's sort of where my escapism from.
Yeah.
I had a grandma die right when I was playing through Mario 3. An aunt died when I was playing Super Metroid. In Poland, I had my grandma die while I was over there, and I would remember playing Golden Sun for the GBA, and like that was the sort of that was my escapism from like all the hell outside of it. And then like relationships and breakups. I associate Braid with a breakup, Catherine with a breakup.
Oh, that's a crazy one.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. I made the wrong choices. Yeah, but I think I that's one of the, like you said, it's escapism. It's being able to say like, hey, well, everything's awful out here, and I know I'm going to get through it, but for this hour, I could just focus on X.
Put everything else aside.
Yeah. Colin doesn't have hard times.
Oh no, my whole life is one hard time.
I was gonna say the problem is Colin's always in the middle of a hard time.
No, I think that I mean I played many games to get through many different situations and difficult scenarios. Also, I think sports were really helpful for me when I was a kid. Because I'd just go play hockey or just go skate or something. But
You skateboarder?
no, I mean skate on ice.
Oh.
Yeah,
He was a mighty duck.
I did skateboard too.
You ever put a skateboard on ice?
No, I wouldn't. That
that
probably
be
wouldn't work
unsafe?
out very well.
Okay.
No, but no, I did skateboard up through college. I wasn't very good, but I used to skate to class and stuff like that. No, I think that One of the things I always think about is that there are a few things in life, like it could be a good movie, maybe a good book, or a video game that you're in a troubled time and you can't imagine not being troubled by it. And then you go an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours and you don't think about it. And then you think about it again and you're like, oh, I'm bummed out. But I didn't think about it for 3 hours. And games are one of the things that allow you not to kind of fixate on those kinds of things, which is nice. But I have a lot of those kinds of games and sporting moments and whatever else that, like they always say, like when you get over a girl or whatever, or a guy, it's it gets a little easier every day. Like you go a little longer without thinking about it, and then just you don't care anymore. So games help expedite that process, I think.
Was Naughty Bear one of those games?
Damn it, he beat me to it.
Did you? Was it really?
You're on point. This is why you're in your chair.
No, it wasn't. That would have made it worse if I was in a bad time, just because it was running at 5 frames a second.
Colin.
Yes.
We have a new segment on the show we like quite a bit called Worst PlayStation Network Name of the Week. Of course, you can't switch your PSN name. So people find names that should be switched and call out, whether it be their own or something they find online. Today's comes from Andrew Dawson. He says Beyond. I stumbled across this PSN ID while playing Warhawk many years ago and have never forgotten it. That PSN name is Schindler's Fist.
Oh, my... That can't be a thing!
That's a real thing. How would you block that? There's no way to block that. None of those words are bad. So, like, how does Shuhei know to find that? He can't find that.
Oh, man.
That's how you go.
Schindler's Fist.
Thank you and Beyond. Super Specs. Period. I don't know what that means. Period. Andrew Dawson.
Maybe that's super respects. Maybe that's what the kids say.
I'm just going online because it was Warhawk came out 8 years ago, so I'm seeing if this name still exists.
You're gonna check on Schindler's Fist for us?
Unless it's all spelled.
Wait, Warhawk.
No, it's spelled normal. No apostrophe. It was the first. It was like the first wave of.
Wow.
It was the first.
Oh, I was thinking of Starhawk.
Oh no, Emmett Graves' story? No,
Yeah, Emmett Graves.
That's not that long.
The hero of PlayStation All-Stars.
Yeah, exactly. Still exists? How many trophies that guy got?
I don't know, I'm looking now.
All right.
It's queuing. All right, there.
Give me the update. Okay, hold on. Here comes Schindler's Fist information. Everybody tweet at Schindler's Fist.
The last game he played was Black
PSN.
Ops.
Oh wow.
Wait,
He's only played 14 games.
Oh, Schindler's Fist.
he could have done more.
Well-
He could have played more.
Call of Duty Black Ops. He played Infamous, no trophies. Dead Nation, no trophies. He played Bulletstorm and has a bunch of trophies.
Yeah.
Battlefield 3, some trophies. Crisis 2, some trophies.
I was about to... Nope.
We'll just stop. How about we all stop right there? Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Podcast Beyond, episode 373. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, Podcast Beyond posts an MP3 each and every Tuesday on your favorite podcast service of choice and IGN.com. Then on Wednesday, I put up the video version on IGN.com, YouTube.com/IGN, and IGN's PlayStation 4 app, which is totally free, Colin. Look for us on the PlayStation Store.
It's so hot in here, I feel like I'm dying.
We're getting out of here. We're going to get you out of here. You're not being abducted. It's like a sauna in this sauna. Remember, IGN.com keeps the mics on, so go there, read the articles, watch the videos, subscribe for Prime, buy shirts at splitreason.com/IGN. If you ever see Tal out in the street, give him a nickel. Say that's from Podcast Beyond for you, sir. Good day. Then follow everybody on Twitter. IGN's IGN. I'm Game Over Greggy. Colin is No Taxation. Marty is Mick Biggity. 2 G's. 2 T's.
Yeah. 2 D's.
2 D's?
2 T's.
2D?
Like 2D, the... Oh, no.
Facts Life.
Yeah.
2D.
Oh, she was a great character.
Yeah. She used to roller skate in season 1. That's neither here nor there. Can I do this with multiple papers?
Yeah,
this is
that's
okay?
fine, that's fine.
Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.